First, thanks to social media, the image that the PAP have painted for many years, making Dr. Chee into an undesirable person in politics for parliament, are now challenged and mostly debunked. This has been the way of how the PAP has conducted election politics for many years, smearing your opponent's character. It will not work today. When you vote for Dr. Chee, you change this dirty politics and cast it into the political garbage bin. Second, Dr. Chee comes to you into parliament with the SDP, not alone. We are a party that have clear policies, researched and thought through. We have committed members, excited and eager to help him to run a town council. Supporters who I am sure will come forward when we do have an estate to showcase to Singapore. Friends, in life, there are those who play fair and stick to the rules. There are those who speak about rules but do not live by it when their power or advantage is challenged. The PAP do not want Dr. Chee to be in parliament and have used all means necessary to prevent him. Our human conscience hates such tactics, bullying tactics by bullies. Your vote will get to correct this clear injustice on Dr. Chee. Vote to allow fairness to win. Vote to make all those ministers who ignored their conscience to face Dr. Chee in person, face to face in parliament.
Singapore has 70,000 gig workers and over 250,000 part-time workers in total. And what do you get in return for your hard work? Precarious jobs, unstable incomes, little protection, and even less respect. Many of you work long hours just to cover basic costs, yet you are not treated as equals in the labor market. You deserve better. The SDP will push for full employment, protection for all workers, regardless of the employment type. And we will ensure that the cost of these protections are not unfairly pushed onto consumers. The platforms that profit must pay their fair share. Now, a shout out to our professional managers, engineers, and technicians, PMETs. Are you here? You are told to work smarter, upskill endlessly, and hustle harder. Your promotions are uncertain, job security is fragile, and burnout is normalized. Singapore is one of the most overworked countries in the world. In 2023, the average worker clocked 2,330 hours a year, far exceeding global norms. Yet many PMTs are stuck in jobs where rewards don't match effort. More importantly, every day our PMETs face job security risks at the hand of foreign labor. SDP stands for fair hiring and stronger protection for Singaporean PMETs. We believe in work-life balance, something that Singapore should strive for.
So the papers quoted Mr. Ong as saying, a hospital bill today is paid in 3 parts: government subsidy, health insurance claim through MediShield Life, and MediSave. He said it's like a stool with 3 legs and is stable. But he said the SDP has proposed a single-payer system, which means you chop off 2 legs. And that, Mr. Ong, is precisely the point. The stool has 2 legs too many. So basically, a single-payer universal health insurance scheme does not need government subsidies, as everyone is covered by insurance. It is sustainable because it has a large pool of young people who don't need complex medical care. There are co-payments involved, and there will need to be some government payment for those who cannot afford the premiums. But there's a cap on how much every individual will pay. Under Mr. Ong's leadership, government health expenditure has gone from $9 billion to $26 billion, and that's clearly not sustainable in the long term. Now, the SDP plan will indeed result in some job losses for administrators, but there will be more doctors, nurses, and allied health professionals. The value of a single-payer plan is that they are the biggest buyer of services and they can drive prices down. So this is already happening with the Government Purchasing Office, or GPO. So what happens is every year the GPO issues a tender, for example in my field, for the flu vaccine. So the farmer reps tell me that they really want to get this tender, so they bring the price down because they make up in volume what they lose in margin. They get 1 million vials of vaccine sold. It more than makes up for having a high profit with a smaller number. When all drugs and medical procedures come under a single payer system, prices will invariably drop as companies compete for the government tender. Similarly, with like CHAS, when there's no barrier between public and private, you can deal with other problems, such as where we have too few doctors in the public sector, and the doctors in the private sector, a lot of them have nothing to do, so they do Botox. The premiums will remain affordable, and by our calculations, they'll be less than what Singaporeans currently pay into MediSave right now.
I tell my children that no matter how far they venture, no matter how high they climb, Mom and I will always be there. Home will always be there. As a father, I want to give them the two most precious things in life: roots and wings. Roots to know where they've come from and that they will always have a place to come home to. And wings. Wings so that they can fly and soar and discover what's out there in the world. In that same manner, I dream of a Singapore with deep roots, roots that anchor us to this place we call home, reminding us always that Singapore is not just where we live, but who we are. And I dream of a Singapore with soaring wings that lift every Singaporean high above fear and doubt. Wings that give us the courage to rise, to speak, to build a nation that is free, democratic, and bold enough to stand with the best in the world. This is the vision that has guided me my whole life. It is the cause that I have devoted myself to, not for glory, not for money, but for country.